Hello lovely people. So today we start here in our new temple, one of the first workshop in Kopanjan in Sri Tanu. So we moved our school here, we're happy. So it would be introduction to Tantra, to the course all aspects of life, all aspects of Tantra, with the emphasizing the subject on healing, because that's the request of our students, so we want to support on this. So we will explain today especially a bit more about the healing. So first of all, I will explain how we do our retreats. Yes, we support the healing process, the growing process. We not only share with you the wisdom, what is Tantra, how to use it, but also we support you on your healing process, what you're going through the exercises, what you're going through the workshops, and whenever the healing manifests, we not running away from it, but we support you. We are into changing our schedule with our program to support you on the process. If you need to go through your process for half an hour, for whatever time, we are here for you to support you on it. So yes, let's start from the main principles of how we do our retreats. It's first first principle is that you don't have to do everything at the tantric workshops. So it means that if something is too much, then you have to feel within yourself how to create variation of the exercises that you will feel acceptable for you. So you it's very hot and I'm just, but okay. So yes, you have to figure out within yourself what would be the variation, what it would be acceptable for all parts of you. So it would be acceptable for your body, for your sexuality, for your heart, for your connection within yourself, and for your spirit, for your ethics, for your morals. Whenever something is too much, yes, it's better that you wait with exercises than you push yourself, and in that way you may even traumatize yourself, and that's not what we want. We want that you grow. But from the same time, we like to invite you to go to the out of the comfort zone, to the place where the real change is happening. But remember that we want to invite you there, we like to guide you there, but we don't want to push you there. So it always has to be your decision, and yes, if you are not ready on it, then we're gonna work on that readiness. Yes. So this is the first principle. The other principle is that we would like to give you the best body and heart experience. So it means that what is best, what we do, we ask our nice friend mind to sit on the side and observe, to not interfere. So it means that you all the time try to be here and now. Whenever you notice that you start to think about something else, just when you notice, don't get annoyed with yourself, because it's natural that we thinking all the time. It's our nature. So don't get annoyed with yourself. But when you notice it, just come back here and now to the exercise, to the breath, to the I don't know, the touch, if the touch is involved with exercise. So yes, and the other very important thing is when we will talk, when we will exercise, we don't speak. We anytime when you speak, you not only interfere your own process, but anyone who hears it, you also interfere. So it's best that we don't talk. If we need to talk about our limits, no limits, then we do it before the exercise. During exercise, it's better not. And also joking from something, it's very often a very smart way of our unhealthy ego, unhealthy mind to run away from the process. Yes, I like jokes, I love, but when we are doing the tantric workshop, it's best if we are here and now and we don't run away from process. Yes. So yes, for that reasons we invented the sign language. When you do the piano sign on someone's body, it means slow down, it goes too far. And if you do it harder, it means stop immediately, I don't accept it. Also, sometimes it's more appropriate that you raise your palm, that means slow down, and if you raise your palm very high, that means stop immediately. And there are two beautiful signs also. When you stroke someone side to side, it means I like it, go further. And if you do it harder, that means I love it, go for it. So use the signs instead of words. Also, they carry less emotions in it, so it's one better way of communicating. They involve less mind, so you are more in the body, in the heart. So also through exercising it on our workshops, during the exercises, you can learn and master it to use it also during lovemaking, because in the lovemaking we are in the vulnerable, naked. Not only body is naked, our soul is very often naked. So sometimes these signs, they don't carry emotions. So it's much nicer to communicate in it. So yes, so that's another thing. So then a very important principle is that we may talk about anything what you experience, but we never talk with naming someone out of the workshop. Yes. So it's we keep the discrecy. So yes. Do you understand that clearly? Do you understand that clearly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So and do you agree with this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So yes, in that way, we promise to keep that promise. Yes. So then yes, a few things may happen. So healing may happen. Yes. So healing manifests through release of emotions. So if it happened to yourself, then it's best that you release as much as possible. Then you don't hold back. Then you take it as a chance, an opportunity for you to get out as much as you can. You know, if it happened to your partner, you place one palm on the front, another palm on the back on the heart chakra, and you don't do like, hey, stop crying, everything would be fine, tomorrow weather would be nice or whatever, because in that way, also in daily life, if you do it, you suppress the emotion what was ready to get out and let that being free, you suppress back into that being, and the person have to live with it and be affected by this. So basically what you do, you encourage the person, cry it out, shout it out, release everything, let it all go once and forever. Let it all go, don't hold back, go deep into memory, speak out what you see, what is happening, and you all the time encourage the person, and till you will see the smile, the process would be like everything when it's released. Sometimes it comes with the waves that, you know, like the person cry, and then it stops for a second, like for a while, and so, and then you think maybe it's over, and usually it's sometimes like 3 waves, like and then it's coming back, you know, like, so you have to when this quiet moment, you have to encourage, okay, let it all go, you know, like you have to keep the person, and then after 3 times, usually could be more or less, you know, maybe could be 1 time, you know, like when you see that the person is relaxed and smiling, or really you can really see the difference on the face, it's really relaxed, and then you see that something got released, something got healed. So we say in Tantra, as harder cry, then bigger smile, then wider smile after. So yes, yes, this is important. Another thing what may happen during the tantric exercises, that unusual sensation may occur, and this may manifest with the shaking, with feeling the electricity, the ends. Maybe you can feel a numbness in your arms, that you cannot move your arms for even half an hour. And I have nice advice for it. Don't worry, be happy, because there are good symptoms that your body is adjusting to new sensations, new energies what we are creating here. So it's very good that something is happening, you know, like, so the best is to relax about it and breathe into it, and just let it be, and let it pass, you know, like with your thoughts. When they come, let them concentrate on here and now. Yes. So yes, these are the basic things, you know. So now I will go more into the focus on the health, on the healing process. So yes, yes, the healing, you know, like what it may happen through many ways. Like first, it can, as I said, through manifesting and releasing the emotions, or if you are lucky, through going into the more and more freedom, more and more pleasure, and in that way you experience more freedom, more pleasure, you liberate yourself more and more, and in that way you expanding so much I don't know, positive things in your life, in your being, that the like the wounds and the pain, the emotions, what are stored in the body, what are affecting your life, they are bit by bit pushed away, and then you feel more and more pleasure. But you know, very often this, yeah, you have to be lucky and I don't know, strong to have that opportunity and ability and good luck that you can go through it. Very often people have to first heal their pain, that they may feel more pleasure and more pleasure. Yes. So what happens in our life? Then first of all, through different circumstances, through our upbringing, through uh, different situations, what happened in our life, we got conditioned in one way or another. So first of all, we may, like feel not good about the nakedness because our parents told us that, and then we may feel wrong about our body because someone told us, oh yeah, you don't look perfect enough, and actually. The commercials are telling us every day, like 100 times, even if you already throw the TV out of the window, if you go out of the street, do you still get a lot of commercials to bombard you and tell you that, hey, you are not perfect, you have to buy that product. But they don't only sell the product, they also sell into you the fear and conditions that you are not good enough, that you are not worth of love, you don't deserve love to yourself, and so that's why it also cutting off yourself from this I don't know, magazines or things like that. It's also like one way of being less affected by this, less conditioned by this. So yes. So yeah, to the conditionings, yes, we absorb some patterns what we use in our life, and very often those patterns are connected with our fears, our pains, our sadness, and we like to protect ourselves from it, like, so we put the big armor around ourselves to not to feel pain, to not to go into the situations what are maybe challenging for us, and so. And yeah, when we had relationship like what broke our heart, we don't want to go into the next relationship. We don't want to open so widely. We close our heart, and like it's stop us from feeling pain, but it stop us also from like feeling love, feeling pleasure, feeling ecstasy. So that's why like we have to remove these protections. Like the knight, when he goes to the battle, he put the armor, yes, and yes, to protect himself. He put a lot of metal on himself to not to get hurt, yes. But after the battle, when he celebrated, and so when he's with his friends and he's going to bed with his wife, then he doesn't keep the armor there. He take it off. So this is the idea of tantric de-armoring, that you are able to put your protections away when you feel that you like to feel the pleasure. Yes. So yes, very often it has to go through like the releasing of emotions, and so very often pain, like especially connected with the sexuality, is storage in our body. So mainly in our sexual areas, and especially with the woman in yoni. Like this, the yoni massage is the one of the most efficient way of healing and de-armoring. So because there are like many points what get hurt, and then by bringing the trusted touch, you heal them, like, but you have to go very often. very often you have to go through the pain and through the maybe the same emotions what you felt what in the time when the abuse or something like that happened. Yes, so yes, and then yes, when you heal the pain, then you know, like when with the trusted touch, with the release of the emotions, then the yoni, your body, it's opening. Okay, yes, I can trust. I can. Then it's opening also to the pleasure, to feel more pleasure. Yes. So yes, that's. And in the same way, yes, you can have like in any parts of the body, like they are also like at the second level de-armoring session workshop that we press different points and through release of the pain, through dealing with the pain, like specific points, we release like the memories what are stored in that points, you know. So yes, there are many ways of de-armoring. So basically that's one way of healing. And yes, yes, Tantra have a lot of to do with health for many reasons. I don't know, what do you think, what are the most efficient reflexology zones in human body? What are the most efficient reflexology zones? You know reflexology massage?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, usually, you know, like you can see that on the palms or on the feet. Yes, yes, yes. But most people don't know that actually our genitals are the most reflexology zones. You know, like there are many points there, and like as I said, in yoni, you know, like there are many, and in on the lingam, there are like by stimulating different parts of the yoni and lingam, we bring the energy to different parts of the body. So basically that's why the Taoist doctors, they not only prescribe the like acupuncture or some herbs or some moksha healing, but they also prescribe to the people for different problems with different organs, for different diseases. They prescribe different sexual positions to stimulate different parts of lingam and yoni. So, and for good health, to keep the good health, they prescribe a variety of the position, to not to stay only with missionary position, but do variety to stimulate all the organs. Yes, to bring the health into all body. So yes, then another important thing, aspect of health and Tantra is that, and a very important aspect of Tantra is how we make love in Tantric way. So basically, yes, at our workshops, at those levels, we don't make love, but we talk a lot about how you can make love, how you make love in better way. So I will explain what is the difference between the tantric lovemaking and typical sex. So here is the ecstasy, energy, and here is time. So typical sex, yes, usually the man is the one who finishes first, but the woman, yeah. So the woman, she doesn't lose so much energy like men through the clitoral orgasm because she doesn't ejaculate in that way. But still, she loses. And some women may repeat the peak orgasm, the clitoral orgasm, maybe 1, 2, or 3 times. But after every one, they lose more interest to continue, and in some point they say no, I don't want anymore, and they may even feel like men, a bit pain if they will continue, you know. So or also their sexual energy is gone, their energy is gone afterwards. So basically, yes, but yes. So this how I will guide you how to make tantric love. It counts for the man and for the woman. Yes. So I explain first what happens in typical sex. Yes. So first of all, like the man, he can start penetration straight away. For him, it's wow, you know, like he doesn't need. But most of them, they read in some sexual books that the woman needs some foreplay, so they do. But they do in average less than 10 minutes, what is much too less for the woman, and especially for her yoni, to be ready for it. So basically what happens when the yoni is not ready, when the yoni is not wet enough, she experiences the pain. And when she experiences the pain, she put the armor, she put the protection over, instead of lovemaking is a bit traumatizing of the yoni. So it's so yes. Then after this average less than 10 minutes, the penetration starts, and then the man within, in average 7 minutes, he reached so-called point of no return, the moment when the ejaculation for sure it will happen. And then what happened next? Yes, he goes
Nothing.
to sleep. You
Yeah.
know? Like he says, darling, I love you, but now I have to go to sleep. Yes, and then all his energy goes down. Yes, he's not able to even talk very often. Yes, so yes, in tantric lovemaking, we let the woman decide when the penetration should start, when the foreplay should turn into the penetration. So at least she will have some more pleasure, and her yoni would be ready for it. And when the yoni is ready for it, that, you know, even if it would be still like typical sex, then at least every time when the yoni is ready for it, then when it's wet enough, then for her it's a healing experience. Yes, maybe not so big, but you know, it's a healing experience, because she was respected. She was like, she could trust, you know, like she was not forced for the insertion. Most of the trauma what the women have, they are from the forced insertion when the yoni was not ready. So yes, when the woman and her yoni is ready for the penetration, again, like the excitement goes fast with the penetration, and then before point of no return, we do 3 methods. What I will go into details in a second. Yes. So first is the tightening the PC muscle. They're all connected with the same and done with the same time. Then it's the breathing in, and then visualization. Yes, so with the PC muscle, you shut the energy up. When you tie the PC muscle, you shut the energy up. With the breathing, you suck the energy up. And then they say, like, the attention, the energy follows attention. So that's why we visualize, and we visualize that the energy goes on the from the genitals to the back of our spine, and to our heart, And then when we breathe out, we visualize that goes back into the genitals. And when we breathe out, also we relax our PC muscle. And we do like 5 or maybe 7 of those circles. And in that way, this too much energy, what was ready to explode and get lost, we brought it up and to the heart. So we are more connected within ourselves, more loving ourselves, but we also more connected with our partner and more loving our partner. Yes? So, and then we are also far away from point of no return. So we may continue with penetration. Yes? And then we, again, before the point of no return, better too early than too late, we do again this few circulations with these 3 methods, yes? And every time when, yes, we can continue, we continue, and every time before point of no return, we do the same. And in that way, you can see that after second time doing that method, or maybe third, we are much higher on the ecstasy level than in typical sex. And, you know, like, the time is passing by, the woman is happy about it because she needs more time. So yes, the man also is happy about it because he likes to satisfy his woman. So yes, this is the basic, you know, like, and about, and yes, through exercises we will feel, you know, like we will exercise a lot of things with the PC muscle, with the breath, to make it more familiar and to make the energy flow, you know, like, so there is one very important aspect, you know, like what else beside of the losing of the energy, it's like you gain through the tantric love. First, you nourish, like at the beginning we start with bringing to the heart, because I feel that the love is the most what we need. Love to ourselves, love to our partner, you know, like, so, and it's the first, like, close chakra, what is, I feel is good to bring, you know, like, so, and it's easier to bring it first to the heart than, you know, like in sexual Tao. It's good, you know, like they teach you to bring it straight to the third eye, and or to the in Tantra, in some Tantra, they teach you to bring it straight to the universe. I feel, you know, like to bring it first to the love, to make this center, and it's also easier to bring it not so high, and then, you know, like make this circulating. And then later on, yes, we will learn to bring it, to make it circulating to the, like, third eye, to the crown, to universe, you know, like, so yes. But yes, when you bring it to the heart, you are more loving, more connected. So yes, you nourish your heart, you know, like for me, like when someone is asking me, what is your daily spiritual practice? My answer is lovemaking. You know, like it's the most efficient way how I can nourish my all chakras. You know, whenever I feel, I can bring it to solar plexus if I feel powerless. You know, I can bring it to the crown if I feel not connected with my destiny, with the universe, with my spirit. You know, like, so yes, I can support myself. Also, very important, you know, you may heal, bring the healing energy to the parts, you know, like what need the healing energy there. It's our, like, sexual energy is very strong, you know, like it's the most stronger energy what we have. And if we learn how to channel it, you know, if we have, like, I don't know, we have pain in a headache, or you know, in our belly, you know, for any reason, you know, then we can bring it there, and it really supports healing. I just had situation a few days ago, and I had a bit of headache because I was just exhausted from the traveling and dealing with a lot of stress and not certainty and so emotions and so, and I I just start to self-love myself and bring this energy, create a lot of sexual energy, and I brought it to the head. After a few minutes, the headache was gone, and I felt like energized, good self-esteem about myself, and happy that yes, it really works. You know, like it really works that I can through bringing the sexual energy to, I can heal my headache and any other things like this. So, but what I wanted to say also, you know, it's however the peak orgasm is nice, then even if sometimes if it's nicer, then it lasts only a few seconds, and as much nicer it is, then we are more attached to repeat it, to have it more, because it's nicer, so we want to have it more and more. So it's basically addictive because we didn't get enough, you know. So that's why very often people go into the harder sexual stimulations, into some kind of perversions and so, because they are not satisfied with this few seconds, or they had some nice experience, but they want to repeat it, so they look for it again and again. And you know, if it lasts a few seconds, if it will be even nicer, it will make you even more attached to sex, basically, you know, to look for it. Yes, so that's one thing. And also, like the scientifically, medically, it's proved that actually the hormones what the brain is getting during the ejaculation are the same hormones what the person who is using the heroin is getting when he's getting the shot. So that's why men especially is so attached to his ejaculation, you know, like and also, like, yes, I understand, you know, I was there myself, I was addicted from sex very heavily, and I understand in some moments if someone will tell me, hey man, you know, you have to work on yourself, you have to avoid the ejaculation, I would say, hey man, you know, like, these are my best seconds in my life, you want me to avoid it? What? I'm not crazy, I don't want to hear you even, you know. But believe me, you know, every person, a woman or man, who start to experiencing the tantric orgasm, tantric ecstasis, they are never interested with the ejaculation. They're never interested with the clitoral orgasm. It's like we call it like sneezing orgasm, you know, because it's just like a moment, and it's, you know, like when people asking me why you don't ejaculate, why, my answer is, what for? What if I can have like all night and go much higher, you know, like on not only ecstasy but like connection, like the love, you know, like then what for, you know? I would just, you know, like so yes, so with the tantric lovemaking, you know, like it's you who decide, you and your partner who decide, like from, like you have so much ecstasy that you feel it's enough. It's enough for tonight. After hours of making love, you feel like, or the birds are singing in the morning, and then you think, okay, let's get some sleep before we go to work, you know, and you are, yes, when you are satisfied, you know, like you're not like this pushing man, oh, let's make love, you know, you are satisfied because, and if you are satisfied in your sexuality, in your first chakras, this like you transfer this energy also like to the heart. In the same way, the satisfaction also is transferred into your heart, so you are more satisfied in your relationship within yourself, with loving yourself, and as well with the relationship with your partner, with the relationship with with the connection with your partner, and with the all it expands to all the people, all universe. You feel basically through the tantric lovemaking, you may experience the states, what like many teachings are telling us, you know, like many beliefs are spreading this beautiful slogan, beautiful message that we are all one. Through Tantra, through Tantric lovemaking, you can experience that, that yes, there are no separation. You can reach that state, that there is no separation, not only with your partner, but within all universe. And when you felt that, maybe it happens once, maybe 3 times in your life, whatever, it makes you sure that yes, you don't want to cause pain to someone. You don't want to make someone unhappy, because you feel also, you start to be connected with people, with animals, with nature, with all universe. You start to care because you know that we are all one, and yes, if you hurt someone, it hurts you, you know, you feel the pain, of the person. I feel the pain of the person who I have to go through the process, through the massage, you know, like through the armoring session, you know, like I feel yes, and I feel also the happiness, you know, this is good news, you know, like you really after the workshops, when I see people smiling and open and you know, like free, then I feel happy myself, like not only because I did it, it's just because I'm so connected with them, you know. And also yes, for me the most beautiful thing what I may experience is not like ecstasy or these higher states of whatever, you know. It's to see the happiness in my lover's eyes, and knowing that I influenced that happiness through making love or through anything. You know, for me it's like, and this pure happiness, what you can see after tantric lovemaking, you know, like the then it's that's for me it's the best, just to see these eyes, you know, like that's amazing. And yes, yes, yeah, so yes, and causing the pain to someone, it's also like when you cause, when you make pain to someone, when you influenced someone pain, you know,
Pain, yeah.
it's really like, you know, like you basically tantra, it's also like bringing your karma instantly, you know. It's like you don't wait till the next life, it's like you deal it like straight away, you know, like you know, like, or it brings not only the healing to the surface, but also like the like healing your past, you know, like healing maybe, yes, the past of your generations, or this what you got in your genes from your grandma. Maybe your grandma was abused and she was she holds that pain, you know, like in her body, and so, and when she procreate your mother, you know, like she when she rise up your mother, she rise up your mother with the same pain. She conditioned her with that pain, and so, and then your mother pass it to you, you know. So it's like you start to heal not only yourself but also like the things, and it goes really, you know, like straight to the point. So yes. So yes. Yes, that's about the healing a bit. Yes, in the healing, it's like, yes, we can talk about hours, you know, like uh, the there are many, you know, like it's not only at the workshops, you know, like you are triggered by situations, but then, you know, like you bring like the when you are on the tantric path, your life is becoming a workshop. You have to, this what we exercise here, this what we process here in the, like in the bubble, you know, like, then you have to be able to bring it also outside. The situation may start to be more intensive, your life would be more intensive, because the tantra is very fast path to enlightenment. They say they like the monks, the people say, you know, like that when you like to get enlightenment in one lifetime, then you go through tantra. You know, it's like called the thunderbolt to enlightenment, to grow. So it's like very intensive. You know, like one thing after another. I'm 10 years with it, and really believe me, it's like I feel like there. It's very interesting life, you know, like, and it's the great thing about it, you know, like that every time when you heal something, especially at the beginning, you know, you make mile steps towards your happiness. You release a lot of, you know, like a lot of stuff, what is just holding you, what is making you insecure, sad, not loving yourself, I don't know, angry, feeling fear, and things like that. So it as the heavy stuff, but also you have to go through the heavy healings at the beginning. But that's you know, it's like you know. One of the most efficient healing is through the healing the G-spot, through the yoni massage. And the women who experience this, they say it's the best day in their life. It's like being born. It's like losing all the luggage what we are making like this, and suddenly they say that they can fly. You know, they feel so much ecstasy and so much, you know, like all the pain, it transfers into the ecstasy, and they become passionate about their life, and so it's, but they have to go through a lot of pain through that healing, you know, like, and yes, as I said, as harder cry, it's wider smile afterwards. Not all of them, because it depends, you know, like from your past. Some of women who had easy life, they, you know, like, but if to someone happened some abuse or something like this, it's of course it's harder to go into this dark side of you and live it through it again. But that's the way of the harmony. So yes, this is yeah, I think that's it about the healing. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. So yes. Oh yes. One more thing. You know, like you know yoni eggs. Okay. So I will explain you. So the yoni eggs are could be like for many women they're the best friends. They're
Really?
crystal stones. What you put in the yoni when the yoni is ready. So first you have to make her ready. I don't know, with your partner or with yourself, and then you put it inside, and you exercise your PC muscles. With the PC muscle, you move it up and down, yes? And later on, you would be able to move it in all directions, you know? Later on, even, you know, like especially with two small ones, you may do like exercises that you may inside of your yoni, bring them apart, bring them close to each other, yes, and in that way you not only exercise the PC muscle, but you bring the trusted touch into your yoni, like, yes. So when the yoni was ready and the egg is inside, the egg is touching all your points inside and in the trusted way. So he is basically the egg is doing for you the yoni massage. So it's that's why it's like really recommended. That's why we always have with us to support to sell them to our students. So there are different crystals for like crystals. They have different purpose. Some of them they are more for healing purpose. Some women need more grounding, you know, like some of the women may need for protection and so on. So yes, and usually we start with the big, the big size, and then we go to more medium size. This is still big size, but medium I don't have at the moment. It's a bit like between, and this is small size. When your PC muscles are already trained good, then you start to do with the small ones. Yes, so that's about the yoni eggs, and yes, they are great healers for the yoni and for the woman. So yeah. Yeah, okay. So I think enough talking, and we can go to exercises. So thank you very much for your attention.